Hey guys, Krusop here, coming in hot with another One Piece chapter review. Today's chapter is chapter 895, and we finally get to see the reveal of Snake Man. So I'll talk about the cover story real quick, and then let's get on to the fight, and then I'll do some analysis of whether I actually think that Snake Man is finally stacking up to Katakuri, or if it still just won't cut it. So the cover story is now still Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Now we've got Hyrule, and he's leaving. He's leaving the Shichibukai. Buggy the Clown, that Buggy hype. So I actually forgot that he was working for Buggy, and I was a little bit surprised by this part in the cover story. But hey, I mean, that's pretty cool, and it's always nice to see a fan favorite like Buggy. Anyway, first page, we get to see Snake Man, and Luffy just has this flowing Maori warrior-like hair. He's got huge triceps imbued with hockey, not too much hockey on his biceps, and none at all on his chest and abdomen. So I guess in that sense I was wrong. However, I was right about a lot of other stuff. But anyway, his legs are also looking really buff too, and they've got hockey on them. But let's continue. He just straight up off the back states that I'm going to be way faster in this form. And then he puts his knuckles out like this, and he uses a move called Chase Python. And he starts snaking it around, and it looks exactly like a Windows 98 screensaver, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And Katakuri gets ready to block it from his right side, and then suddenly you see a panel where Katakuri's like, and then he barely has time to block it from his left, because Luffy can actually now use his observation haki and change the trajectory of this move, which is called Jet Culverine. So Katakuri is impressed by this, but he's like, that's still not going to cut it, essentially. And he starts rolling in a ball, and then he comes out of it with this gigantic, hockeyed up Mochi mace. And he says, "Dice Mochi." And he just hits Luffy. Luffy looks like he's in a ton of pain. He picks him up, swings him around, and just slams him into the ground of the Mirror World. And this creates a giant hole. And then Luffy's like, that hurts, I'm hungry. We just got Katakuri standing over Luffy, looking freaking menacing like the Hulk or the Armored Titan or something. And then, you know, Luffy isn't done yet. He pulls out a new move, which is analogous, I guess, to the Gum Gum Gatling, which we find out in a later panel is called Black Mamba, where essentially he's just shooting multiple versions of this Jet Culverine out at the same time. And Luffy and Katakuri are kind of going blow for blow at this point. And then you get this great panel where Luffy and Katakuri are both flying backwards, and Luffy's arm is like in the shape of a triangle, kind of reminding me of the geometry of a pull shot or something. It looks really cool. And then, of course, Katakuri doesn't want to fall on his back, so he does several backflips to avoid that shame. And then finally, I guess we have Luffy back at it again. Katakuri gets in another hit with the Dice Mochi. And then finally, in the last panel, we have Luffy, and he's coming in with a new move called King Cobra. It pretty much looks the same. I can't really tell the difference between this and the Jet Culverine. And then Katakuri is, of course, coming in with another giant mace with the Dice Mochi. Okay, and that's the end of the chapter. And we're on break next week, unfortunately. So yeah, I just want to give you guys my analytics real quick. So here's what I think. First of all, compared to the regular Culverine, the Jet Culverine has less surface area by putting his knuckles like this, which allows it to actually go much faster than the normal Culverine. At least I think so. And with his increased observation haki, he can change the direction of this move at a second's notice. Or, well, what am I saying? A lot less than a second. I mean, it's friggin' observation hockey, right? And it's a really speedy move. And then we also have Katakuri's brand new move, which is called Dice Mochi, where essentially he's rolling around super fast, but then he has to extend his arm outward to actually land the direct hit on Luffy. So here's what I think about this move. I think that the actual spinning, building up of momentum is extremely fast. However, it slows down just a bit when he extends his arm. And this is due to centripetal force. When you have your mass away from the body, it moves slower. So yeah, essentially I think that this gives Luffy a little bit of time to react and catch the edge on Katakuri, because in order to successfully land a blow, he has to kind of slow down and put his arm out. And otherwise, just a random part of him would roll on top of Luffy, and that wouldn't do anybody any good. So, based on this, I do think that Luffy actually might have the edge at this point, because he's able to manipulate his arm and kind of trick Katakuri by changing directions at the last second. So I think it's really close, but I do think that with Luffy's advanced observation hockey and this new form Snake Man, he's going to do a lot better with dodging Katakuri's attacks and just landing in blows a little bit faster than Katakuri. And the reason why I think that Katakuri is using Dice Mochi at this point is because he just wants to finish Luffy off. I think that, at least based on what I've seen, that Block Mochi might be a little bit faster, but it does seem to be weaker than Dice Mochi. So anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm really looking forward to, I guess in 2 weeks, when I'll get the new chapter. And since there's a lot of downtime now, I really am going to get out some of those theory/discussion videos that I've been promising you guys for weeks. Anyway, it's Cruisop here. I'm piecing it. Make sure that you like the video. Please subscribe and get ready to be notified for some more of my future content. Anyway, have a good one. See ya!